Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype, it's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Co-host, Ed Kaluka. Featuring dangerous Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the program. Glad you could join us. Our partners, Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt, are live at the Milwaukee Mile. How you guys doing out there?
Pretty good. Cars are on the racetrack. They're having some practice going on right now. It's pretty cool to be back racing at the mile. We're doing a double today. I'm starting here at the mile and heading to Slinger tonight, so we got 2 for 1 on one day.
There's a lot of people, I think, that are going to do that tonight.
We're all
pretty cool.
Up, just like old days. Remember we used to have that big train up the highway? We'll have to have something to lead the chart.
Yeah, the Super Lates are racing at Slinger tonight later, too. So we'll see how many cars make both races. Did I just hear you say that Luke Fenhouse had a little bit of a problem here in practice?
Sure looks like it. The car don't look too good. The front and the back are pretty smashed up. Now, he had a problem in practice yesterday. I talked to his dad this morning real quick and said they fixed it. He didn't know how good they got it, but something else was to happen today, and he hit the truck.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got a backup car along or not, or what the deal would be there, but he's going to be on short time because they qualify shortly after we're done here on the program. So he's going to have to get something together quickly if he wants to make the show here today.
And it's a perfect day. We got hot weather heading this way, but today isn't it. Today is absolutely a perfect day to bring Dad out to the racetrack and watch at the Milwaukee Mile. And then, like Dan said, then head up the highway and go to Slinger, Wisconsin tonight to see Ty Majeski and the super late models up at Slinger tonight. Be a good night for it. So hopefully we'll see you there.
And I got a word about Slinger tonight.
What's that?
It's memorabilia night for people who passed away.
Tribute night.
Tribute night. I'm sorry, I used the wrong word, Todd. I apologize.
It's all right. It'll be round 4 of the Elite 8 Super Lates.
And Timmy Lampman's going to have his dad's car there. That's kind of a cool thing to look at. And then Kathleen is going to be there with, I don't know how many people she's invited to Slinger to honor her brother. So,
be pretty cool.
Yes.
All the way around. They're racing this weekend, not only here at Milwaukee, but they ran the Truck Series last night at Knoxville, Iowa. It was, I would say, a much better show than it was a year ago. They really weren't sure what they were doing. I don't know. What was the problem last year? They had did it rain too much or something that the track was real heavy? Is that what it was, Brian?
Yeah, a little bit of that, and they just didn't know with that type of clay what to do, or it's not even a clay. That's a black gumbo that comes from the river bottom. Not exactly sure how to get it prepped right, but this year they tore it up. They actually put more water on it this year than they did last year, which actually I think created much better racing. I mean, that was way better than anybody's expectations, I thought, as far as how it would go. You didn't have the pound fest that you had last year, so much better race.
Bottom to top, no problem.
Yeah, yep. That was they stopped the race, of course, or not stopped the race. Between races, between segments, they groomed the track, and they seem to do a pretty darn good job of it. They certainly know what they're doing at Knoxville, where they are dirt track experts. Brian told me, though, which just amazed me, it looked like there was not much of a crowd there, and there's a pretty good reason for that. Brian, explain to our listeners.
That's a big place. That place holds 30,000 folks in it for the Knoxville Nationals. And, think about, the Milwaukee Mile here that we're sitting at right now holds like 35,000. So figure that the Knoxville Raceway holds 5 less than the Milwaukee Mile. So if you were to have a truck race here at Milwaukee, obviously this day and age, you're not going to sell it out. They didn't do that there either. So, I mean, you're talking probably 15 to 18,000 people there yesterday. That's a really good crowd at any dirt track. Hell, most dirt tracks would take that for their top race of the year. So I don't think it's anything to be too concerned about. Talked to Bob Sargent when we got in here this morning, and he was really happy with the crowd that they had there last night, and he was the one promoting it. So all the way around, I think it was a success.
Todd Gilliland ended up winning the race. A very, very good race again for Ty Majeski and Derek Kraus. Derek started from the pole, second year in a row there, ended up sixth. Ty Majeski had been running up front and then kind of got shuffled back a little bit, and I'll be darned if he didn't show up again right at the very end and ended up fourth. Here you got a guy that's not supposed to be a road racer and does a really nice job on a road course. Now, he's the same guy that's not really supposed to be much of a dirt racer, and he had a hell of a race, ended up fourth. So Ty, I guess he's just pretty good all the way around. He's just never raced anything except short tracks, oval tracks, and I think there's some real talent there. And Derek Kraus, it's pretty amazing how many cars he passed. First of all, just to be there at the end, but all the way from the start of the first heat, he passed cars and ended up, 11 points he got for that, Brian? Something that was just amazing to earn the pole.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it's just, he's good there, and he doesn't have a lot of dirt background.
His dad does.
His dad does, yeah. His dad ran with the top series of dirt late model racing back in the late 90s, early 2000s, so Derek doesn't have much of it, but, it's all about car control. The people that say that the dirt racers are naturally going to be that much better in any of the NASCAR series really doesn't. I mean, if you talk to some of those dirt guys, a lot of it doesn't correlate. If you run a dirt late model or a midget or a sprint car, it really doesn't coordinate into those big, heavy trucks. It's more about overall car control. And
Buddy Kofoid didn't do much.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, Scott Bloomquist way back when, the very first year, he was terrible in it. So it's more about car control and how well you can control a vehicle and how well you can tell your crew people what to do to the vehicle to make it comfortable, not necessarily dirt versus asphalt. And it's going to show that Derek's got really good car control and knows what to tell the folks about what to do to his car.
And both those guys had a great, towards the end there, when they were fighting for like fourth or fifth, I think it was like fifth place, they were kind of getting ahead of, racing pretty hard for it. I'm thinking, God, just don't take each other out now towards the end here.
Not again, anyway. Hey, Dan, something that people did not see if they were watching FS1 last night.
Yeah, I guess the truck of Jessica Friesen, the 62 truck, got up on the berm and did a complete rollover and came back down on all fours, and nobody saw it. The cameras never caught it. They never talked about it. And that, like Brian, you had said, I'm thinking, how can you miss that? I mean, the truck rolled all the way over. Everybody on the stand saw it, but the announcers weren't on site.
No, they weren't. If you saw the pre-race portion of it, and they started this even before COVID, because it was a standalone event, they didn't fly the announcers out there. So they're in their little war room in Charlotte at the Fox studio watching all the screens. So they're not there. I mean, I guarantee you if they would have been there, Phil Parsons probably would have seen a cloud of dust and wheels up in the air and said, oh, somebody's over. But they weren't, and the camera people are focusing on what they're supposed to focus on, so it gets completely missed. One of the downside to not having people on the scene.
All in all, a pretty good show, especially when compared to last year. But Gilliland hangs on and wins it, and I'm just glad that they go ahead and they do something a little different like that and race on the dirt. I mean, why not? They need it. I think it's good for their overall crowd. I think to do something like that, and
something special for the truck series guys. A lot of times they're the redheaded stepchild in NASCAR that doesn't always get to the recognition. They're the Friday show. They don't get all the coverage, but this is a special event. It started with Eldora years ago, and now to have them on a weekend when none of the other guys are racing, they were the headline event of the weekend. Kind of nice for them to do it, and then to have a good show on top of it, all the better.
Now, speaking of the headline show, there was one other event. Of course, not too many stock car shows on the weekend, but SRX had their first race. It was at Pensacola, Florida, and well-known short track racer Helio Castroneves won the initial SRX race of the year. Quite a good show, I think. Ryan Newman and Bubba Pollard were side by side for second, a good 10 car lengths behind leader Castroneves, but they did a whale of a job going at it, and Bubba Pollard got by him right as they're coming for the white and ended up second. Good for Bubba. That's, of course, one of his home tracks, I guess. They mentioned the Slinger Nationals more than once during that probably because that was an SRX track a year ago. But all in all, another pretty good show they did for Pensacola. If you didn't see it, I'm sure that if you check your local listings, it was on CBS 58. There will be other showings possibly on CBS Sports Network on cable or satellite if you think you can find it there. We are going to sneak away and have a break. We're going to be back. Hang in there with us.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250 presented by Jockey Made in America and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company in the heart of Wisconsin is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Looking for exciting racing? Then be at the Fair Park in Plymouth this Saturday. Late models, wing sprints, Grand Nationals, and V-Mods. Grandstand opens at 4:30. Opening ceremony at 6. Speed, action, and excitement with wheel-to-wheel, wing-to-wing racing. And make plans to be here. Fast cars, great drivers, awesome racing at the Fair Park in Plymouth. You'll want to be there.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800. Or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
This week on NASCAR Live, we caught up with Matt DiBenedetto.
I'm really thankful to be where I'm at, driving for Rackley War and racing in the truck series, because it was a blessing in disguise. It really has renewed so much passion and fun for racing that I needed and didn't realize that I needed as much as I did. So I just have a smile on my face every week. I love my team. If they want me back, then I'm back.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Tuesday night at 6 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
And welcome back to LTN. Not only did Elio Castroneves win the SRX race at Pensacola last night, but he also won himself a cup ride. Now, we mentioned that Don Hawk is the new administrator. What's the word for it? The guy that runs the SRX series. And when he, what do you call him, Dan?
CEO, maybe?
See, there you go, CEO. When he talked to Elio about coming on board and doing this, there was a little kicker in it for him, Dan. Why don't you?
Well, I mean, because it looks like he was a late addition to that race too. I mean, he wasn't on the original entry list to do it. It was kind of like a Kentucky Derby situation here. We have a guy come in there at the last minute and he ends up winning the thing. And part of it, he talked to Don Hawk, and Hawk told him, if you win an SRX race, I'll get you a cup ride. Well, he won the SRX race, so now it's time to get a cup ride. They mentioned Daytona. Now, what ride it would be? It could be that 91 car that's out there with Trackhouse. I mean, that's what it's there for guys like this. So we'll see what comes of it. It'd be kind of cool. I think Helio in a cup ride would be really cool to see.
And he was pretty excited about it, too.
And Daytona would be a perfect place for him too. Although, racing at one of those tracks, he does. It's not exactly like racing at Indianapolis with one of these aero. Weird arrow compared to an IndyCar ride, but it'll be fun to watch, that's for sure. And what a great personality to have at Daytona. Speaking of great personalities, there isn't anybody in the sport of NASCAR Cup racing that doesn't absolutely love Daniel Suarez. He is as genuinely nice a kid as he comes across when there's a camera on him. And I'll be damned if the kid doesn't go out and win his first Cup race last week at Sonoma on the road course. His contract was only good for 1 year, which takes him through this year. And even though he doesn't have a new contract yet, everybody says, we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. He'll be back in the car. Don't worry about it. And congratulations all the way around. Nice kid and well-deserved winner. Now, Ed, I have to admit, I did not see that race. I was at Slinger Speedway. I learned about it when Dan Margetta texted my partner, Dean Strom, who did it over the PA and said it was a first-time winner. And I said, was it Suarez? And I guess I guessed it right. But when I saw it last, Kyle Larson was kicking everybody's ass. What happened?
I don't know. I thought he lost the wheel.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, 5-car lost the wheel, and it's going to cost his crew chief and Jackman and a tire changer 4 weeks now, right?
Cliff Daniels, the crew chief, 4 races. And did I hear you say that they're not even going to appeal it?
No, it's a pretty obvious situation there. I mean, there ain't much to appeal. They just screwed up and didn't get the nut on tight, and off he went, and off went the tire, like right away. It's like not a couple turns either. It was like he got off pit road and away went the tire. Oh,
geez. Cliff Daniels, the crew chief, and 2 crew guys. It would be the tire changer for sure?
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
Yeah, I think it's a tire changer and a jack, man. I think they look at that because the signal to go is usually drop on the jack, so that's why they jam the jack man on something like that when the wheel comes off. It's jack man, tire changer, and a crew chief, I think.
All right, well.
And they're having a problem with those guns changing direction.
Oh, jeez.
You see them beating on it all the time trying to get the thing to change direction.
Something seems to be wrong about that whole thing. Well, Wisconsinite Jesse Saunders is the crew chief for Kyle Larson in the number 5 car. And I don't know, is that a logical step for him to move up into the crew chief role, or do you think perhaps Chad Nouse will come out of his semi-retirement, whatever you want to call it, running the show there at on the competition side over at
it all depends if they have someone competent enough to fill Jesse's spot. The car chief is an extremely important job, just as much as the crew chief, as far as what's going on all weekend long when you're at the track. So if it made sense to move him up to that position because they have someone underneath that can do Jesse's job to the ability that Jesse can, then I would think maybe they would. But either that or there's somebody back in the weeds that they'll bring up to do it. But it all depends upon, I said, you got to fill that spot.
Don't you think this is just tailor-made for Chad Knaus to come back?
Yeah, does he want to? I mean, that's the other thing. Yeah, there's, what is he doing right now? He's maybe have other things going on, and how would him and Kyle mesh? There's a lot of question marks there that you got to do. This is not, a 1 week deal, so This is going to be a while.
And part of your having a strong team is having people you can plug in when things like this happen. And if you go back to Chad Knaus, you're kind of, maybe your team's not as strong. You ought to have somebody waiting in the wings to take place of that crew chief job. Should you have?
Right.
Yeah, interesting.
That sits beside, Cliff all weekend long, and maybe that would be the logical person to move over.
So with Daniel Suarez winning, he became the 12th different winner this year, which, assuming that there's not going to be any more. And there could be more winners. Listen to the guys who are still on the outside looking in as far as wins go. Now, Ryan Blaney is 13th in the points, but first car without having won a race. Martin Truex hasn't won a race. Christopher Bell, the next big deal, hasn't won a race. Eric Almirola is the first car above the cut line, and Kevin Harvick is under the cut line. And, for as much jabber about Richard Childress Racing, neither Reddick or Austin Dillon has won a race yet this year. So do you think we're going to get another couple of winners yet out of that group to join the 12 that have already won?
Think about those two guys from Childress Motorsports. Both of those guys had wins in their hands that they were going to win races this year that snapped away from them right at the very end. Mm-hmm. So you easily could be at that point already. Reddick had California all but one.
At Bristol all but one.
Yeah, all but one at Bristol also. And then, Dillon, he had the lead in the 600 right at the end there. So you had guys that, it's very likely, I think, although you got to look at the tracks that you have left also. That's the other thing. But, Road America that's a crapshoot. You don't know who's going to win there.
Right.
Reddick looked really good there last year.
Daytona was the last cutoff race,
that's
right?
a crapshoot.
It just seems to me that Blaney is going to win yet. I don't know why, but I thought, we would have seen Martin Truex win already, too.
Got 3 road courses left yet, and he's good on road courses, so there's a possibility there also.
And, Ed, how far can we go without Kevin Harvick winning a race? Good
rest of the season.
Oh, my God. We'll be back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Gas prices are up. Morale is down. But that's why we're here with Inflation Salvation. Whoa! Don't miss your shot to win $1,000. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every hour when you hear the keyword. Go to our webpage to enter it.
At thebig920.com. Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
The Milwaukee Mile of Wisconsin State Fair Park roars back to life Father's Day Sunday, June 19th, as Track Enterprises presents the ARCA Midwest Tour. See the nation's top drivers with the best super late model stars in the Father's Day 100, presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Upper Midwest Vintage Cars, Midwest Trucks, and Mid-Am Stock Cars will also be in action. Tickets available online at trackenterprises.com or at the gate on race day. For complete details, go to trackenterprises.com. Racing returns to Milwaukee Sunday, June 19th.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
Nashville Super Speedway, it is so good to be back.
Returns to Music City.
Whoa, look out further back. One truck up and into the outside wall. It's Derek Kraus.
With 3 races remaining until the playoffs.
Checkered flag in the air, and Ryan Preece is going to strum a brand new Gibson guitar.
It's the Rackley Roofing 200.
Friday night at 6:30 on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR, the Big 920, and your iHeartRadio app.
And welcome back to LTN. The boys are at the Milwaukee Mile today, getting ready for a Father's Day, what might end up being a Father's Day tradition every year. And
say Happy Father's Day today. Happy Father's Day to my
Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
There you go. What a way, kind of a neat way to spend a Father's Day. Say, gentlemen, Steve O'Donnell, who is the chief operating officer for NASCAR, this week intimated in either a press conference or an interview that NASCAR is working on adding one big event this next season, not this year, for the 2023 season. And there's been some reporters that have picked up the ball and run with it, and they scared the hell out of everybody because they think it's going to be a Chicago street race, and it's going to replace Road America on the schedule. At this point, it is one reporter's musing that this could happen. Nothing has been announced, but, that tends to get people worked up in these parts.
Yeah, it does, and that came out Friday morning, and I was at Road America on Friday for the June sprints and in the media center when that broke, and we started talking about it a little bit, and basically what it is, it's a reporter just trying to connect dots to make it look like, hey, I said it first. And if you really stop and think about it, it really doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, the thing he's going with is the fact that Kircher, in an article about a month ago, said that they didn't have a deal signed yet. A lot of them signed when NASCAR comes to town. That's when they do the business. That's when they meet with everybody. That's when they sign the deal for the following year, if it's the end of a year contract. So this guy's just connecting the dots. If you really think about it, and I listened to Sirius XM this week, and those guys seem to have their finger on a lot of that stuff, and Dave Moody being one of them, he won't cross NASCAR lines. And when someone asked him about it, he just lambasted the idea, saying, "Why in the hell would you leave, track that has
such a absolutely positively fantastic event?"
Last year they had the highest attended race in the entire season because Daytona couldn't have a full house for the 500. But I mean, in this year we're fixing to be in the same spot again because ticket sales are at where they were last year. So I mean, the only way anything's possible. We've seen NASCAR do a lot of dumb stuff before, and I guess it wouldn't surprise us one way or the other. But I really don't feel that would be something that would be highly likely, especially if we're able to fill it up. The only thing we can do as fans here, anybody that's listening to this and anybody that doesn't have their tickets purchased yet for the July 3rd race, get them. Get out there. Let's fill that place up. Let's have a bigger crowd than we had last year and really force NASCAR's hand to say, hey, why would you give up your biggest attended race of the year?
No kidding. And it was such a spectacular. Hey, wasn't it the highest attended race of the entire season last year?
Yeah, the 2021 schedule, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you get rid of that? And I'll tell you, talk about not having your finger on the pulse or getting what it's like around here. Wisconsin race fans, there are a lot. We're a racing hotbed of the country, and it took forever to get the Cup Series up here in this state. We fought forever to try to get that thing. We got it, and we packed the place, and we're going to do it 2 years in a row. And if you take it away and pull the rug off from under everybody, that betrayal is going to hurt you so bad. It's almost like we don't have the tradition that Darlington had, but when they moved the Southern 500 to Los Angeles, look how that turned out. I'm not saying it's the same, but it's going to be felt the same with the Wisconsin race fans, and there are people that aren't going to go anymore. I'll tell you what, they called me for my Phoenix spring tickets. You want to renew? Well, just see what you do at Road America first before I do that.
Again, this isn't coming from NASCAR. This is coming from one reporter that had this come out here, and NASCAR hasn't come out and said anything at all about it. So, I mean, now if you want to look at things that are more a likely scenario, you got to look at tracks that don't have great attendance right now, and one of them is Indianapolis. I mean, Indianapolis has really struggled. Indianapolis, one could argue, I think if you put Chicago there, it's just as long to get, miles-wise to go to Indy as it is to go up to Road America. Indy really struggling, and they've moved that race around. They've moved dates. They've moved, from a road course to the oval. They're going back to they're doing the road course, possibly going back to the oval. So, if there's one that may be on the cusp of maybe losing its date for this street race at Chicago, that would be the more likely one. But we don't know.
Brian, I just can't see why they wouldn't go back to the oval at Indianapolis, especially with this new car.
And that would be the way to put it together, because if they're talking about moving a road course to create the street course, you would maybe move Indy back to the oval if you're going to keep it, and then look at some of these tracks that have 2 dates. Richmond has 2 dates, Darlington has 2 dates, Charlotte has 2 dates, Texas has 2 dates. Maybe cut one of those to put this in there. But, there's a lot of moving parts to this. Let's see what happens in 2 weeks when they're up here, and hopefully there's a big announcement. If we get past the weekend up here and you don't, then you can get a little, squirrels in your stomach and go, oh boy, hopefully something happens,
Yeah, unfortunately we'll keep an eye on it, and it's got to come from somewhere, and it's unlikely that they would take an oval track away and add another road course, don't you think?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
I said, buy your tickets. If you don't have tickets to the July 3rd race and you're on the fence, buy them. Get in there. Let's fill this place up. Let's make it the most spectacular event it can be yet again, and let's make it the tradition that we're hoping it becomes up here for the 4th of July weekend.
There you go.
Especially with a repave.
Yeah, and it'll be freshly repaved too. With the L.A. Coliseum announcing that the Busch Clash is going to be back again, February 5th, second year in a row. That was a pretty successful event. Can you imagine all the work to make it into a dirt track and then rip it all out and then put it all back in and rip it all out again? Strange, yes, but a TV event, and why not? It was successful. So,
think about the work it's gonna cost, or the amount of cost and the work it's gonna take to create a street course in Chicago. Look at that event that they're thinking about doing and where they want to put it. I mean, if they're going to put it in Millennial Park like the iRacing thing was, I mean, that's a ton of work, and there's a lot of money invested in that, and how many people are actually going to go down there and watch it? I don't know. So, whatever.
Brian, one thing we know, there won't be as many people at that as there would be at Road America.
Not close. No.
Not even close.
Close.
Yeah, so interesting. You did mention briefly Richmond, and I just wanted to mention that there's a new president of the Richmond Speedway. It is the third female track president NASCAR has now. Lori Collier-Warren was named the track president of Richmond, joining Julie Giese at Phoenix and Jill Gregory at Sonoma. She said, "I'm new to NASCAR, but I'm not new to success." So we'll see how she does at Richmond. We're going to sneak away and do a break. Thanks for listening to LTN, and we'll return with our boys at the Milwaukee Mile right after these.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250, presented by Jockey Made in America, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
Are you ready for an inflation vacation? Win $1,000 9 times a day, weekdays, right here. Just listen for the keywords to enter on our website for your chance to win a grand.
At thebig920.com.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit BonafideSafe.com.
The Milwaukee Mile of Wisconsin State Fair Park roars back to life Father's Day Sunday, June 19th, as Track Enterprises presents the ARCA Midwest Tour. See the nation's top drivers with the best super late model stars in the Father's Day 100, presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Upper Midwest Vintage Cars, Midwest Trucks, and Mid-Am Stock Cars will also be in action. Tickets available online at TrackEnterprises.com or at the gate on race day. For complete details, go to TrackEnterprises.com. Racing returns to Milwaukee Sunday, June 19th.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Green flag goes in the air, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series is racing again in Nashville.
Season heats up.
Oh, look out, trouble, turn 3. One car hard into the outside wall.
With a trip to Nashville Superspeedway.
The historic win, number 100, happens today in Music City. Kyle Busch.
It's the Tennessee Lottery 250.
Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
And welcome back to LTN. Todd Bailing, Ed Kluka, and our pair of short track crack reporters are at the Milwaukee Mile today. Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt are in the infield as that event is about to get underway. Qualifying will be shortly after the completion of this program. And racing gets underway, 1 o'clock this afternoon, guys?
Right, 1 o'clock, ready to go. Midwest Trucks are here, the Mid-Am Series is here, and then the ARCA Midwest Tour for the Father's Day 100. Then they have the vintage cars after that. So right in succession, pretty good racing. And I got to say, Dave Coleman's here. He's looking real good. He's got this old school Mark Martin shirt on with the old Dillon car. That car sat on a pole here in 1978. I was at that race. It was a 50. It was like the first big short track type race here at this facility.
And the second session just ended for the Midwest Tour, and Johnny Sauter was fastest in that session.
Johnny Sauter's there. How many super lates do they have?
27, I believe.
Okay, that's not a bad number. So last week, if you were watching the race at Sonoma, it was the final event for Fox. And conspicuous in his absence, they mentioned briefly that Clint Boyer was in a personal situation or something. I forget exactly how they said it, but we came to find out that he was in the state of Missouri. He was about halfway between Kansas City and St. Louis. Lake of the Ozarks is the area where he was, and he was getting on a
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
Hey you, get ready to hear something you've never heard before. It's called the Non-Fun Squad, and it's the first ever bunch of podcasts voiced by NFTs. That's right, NFT characters hosting all kinds of podcasts, talking about everything under the sun, pop culture, TV, music, crypto, and maybe even hollering at a few big celebrities. And to help us launch the Non-Fun Squad, there's the Wallet of Wallets from Vatum, an easier way to interact with NFTs and the metaverse. The Wallet of Wallets lets you secure your personal information and manage all your NFTs and cryptocurrency in a single place. All you need is your email and mobile number to get started. So what are you waiting for? Create your own Wallet of Wallets at vatum.com/non-fun-squad. For limited time, you'll receive a free gift to start your journey into the metaverse. And get ready for Prop Culture, the Non-Fun Squad's first non-fungible podcast, dropping June 22nd on the iHeartRadio app and anywhere you listen to podcasts.
No, he was coming off of the freeway over there, and there was a woman walking on the ramp. Turns out later they found out she had been doing methamphetamines and alcohol, and 47-year-old Mary Simmons was struck by Clint Boyer's car, and she died. Good news and bad news. For Clint, he blew a 0 when they tested him. He did not have one drop of alcohol in his system. But bad news, my God, he's got to live with this the rest of his life. He feels terrible, as anyone would, and said, how important family is to him and how bad he feels that this whole thing happened. And Obvious was not on the thing last week. Walking on an exit ramp against traffic, 47-year-old Mary Simmons is who Clint hit on the off ramp, and so he wasn't there. Tony Stewart and Larry Mack did a pretty stand-up job at the race, and not a good way for Fox's coverage to end, and terrible that Clint will have to deal with that, but the joys of methamphetamine, I guess. That's what we get. Now, speaking of deaths, this is a beautiful transition, isn't it? The matriarch at Rockford Speedway, 97-year-old Jody Deary, passed away this week, June 13th. And she has been a part of racing for you can't go into any records without seeing her picture there, and it's particularly anything from Rockford Speedway. She's always been there, been a part of the family down there for so many years, and I wonder, didn't we always hear some kind of rumor that once she was gone, that the track no longer would have a lease with the county or something like that? Well, I was assured this week that was just a rumor, and everything is going to stay exactly the way it is as far as the racing at Rockford Speedway. Either way, they lost their matriarch at 97, and our best to the entire Deary family for losing mom, dear old mom. That's a pretty terrible thing. If anybody would like to participate in the program, now we're getting a little later in the show, but we will be able to take some calls intermittently here. You can call us at 414-421-7901 and give us your thoughts, not only on Daniel Suarez winning a race, but what do you think? Ryan Blaney, Truex, Christopher Bell, Almirola, Harvick, Reddick, Dillon. So we're going to get 4 more for the playoffs out of that group of drivers and how many of them will win and automatically get a berth. The only way it wouldn't be automatic is if they had more than 16 winners, and it really is not that much to guess that would happen. We still have 10 races to go in the regular season. And the way these new cars are working, my God, they've been fantastic. It would not be a surprise if we did get 4 more winners. I think it's possible, don't you guys?
I think it could happen.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so, don't you?
Yeah, I'm sure it would. Look at the finish yesterday, the top 5. You know, not many people that you'd think run up there like that would all have potentials to win. And I think we're going to have what happens to your points with wins in order to get in.
Yeah, no kidding. I was always just blown away that it was Harvick that hadn't won yet, but boy, I think that ship may have sailed already. Now I'm blown away that it's Ryan Blaney that hasn't won a race yet. That seems.
Or Truex.
And Martin Truex. My God, as good as he's been the last few years, and perennially in the playoffs, and hasn't won. And wasn't Christopher Bell going to be the next big deal?
Yeah. Hey, look at your tracks that you have left here. You got Nashville next week. You go to Road America, then you go to Atlanta. Atlanta's a crapshoot. That's like a super speedway race now. And you go to New Hampshire, the 1 mile oval, Pocono. That anybody's guess at Pocono. The road course at Indy, Michigan, Richmond, Watkins Glen, and then Daytona is an ultimate crapshoot. So you got a wide array of tracks. It's really hard to pick who would be the top people at any of these particular races. You know, Larson was dominant last year at Nashville. Will he be this year? He doesn't have his crew chief now. That's going to be wide open. So you really don't know what's going to happen there.
And you look at some of the teams that are stepping up. I mean, Trackhouse obviously, but they both got a win.
Wow.
Reddick was right there for a while. He's kind of tailored off now and then. How about Eric Jones? I mean, Eric Jones is here at the mile today racing, but he's lately, that 43 car has been in the mix and pretty close to pulling it off. He could close the deal.
Chris Buescher's been running pretty good for the RFK car also. So that's another one that you never know. They could sneak in there and win one of these races. They could definitely Daytona and possibly Atlanta, because those are two.
And leapfrog every driver that I mentioned there too. Because if you get up in there and you're going to push everybody that I mentioned down another notch, I do not think that it's impossible that we're going to have 16 winners. You know, it's unlikely, probably.
It's most likely of any season we've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you have a lot of the guy, you know, nobody at the beginning of the year, if you would have said Trackhouse has 3 wins, we all would have said, you're crazy. You know, no way.
Just imagine that. And how about the success out of this pit bull deal? Suarez wasn't winning and wasn't really getting. I think it's the car has matched his style, and it was perfect on a road course, and it fell perfectly for him. And I don't think anybody should be surprised, because that Trackhouse team is overachieving this year. And look at how good they are compared to a team like Stewart Haas. God, amazing. We'll be back.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358. The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250, presented by Jockey Made in America, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
It's the Stanley Cup Final on Sports USA. And in nature and in hockey, powerful forces collide. The Avalanche and Lightning are in a battle for supremacy on the ice and a chance to hoist the Stanley Cup. Tampa Bay can strike quick with Stamkos and Palat. Colorado brings a trio of threats in McKinnon, Kidry, and McCarr. It's Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final in Tampa. This Monday, as the Lightning host the Avalanche on your home for the Stanley Cup Final, Sports USA.
Monday night coverage starts at 6:30 on 97.3 The Game and your iHeart Radio app.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Full rampant of dirt racing from this past week. We'll start Monday. Belleville, Kansas at the Belleville High Banks, the SRSS Super Series. $20,000 to win in the Super Late Models on a Monday night. Jonathan Davenport continued to fill his bank account to the fullest with a win there on Monday night. Tuesday, Sharon, Ohio, the All-Star Circuit of Champion Sprint Cars Ohio Speed Week continued. Christopher Bell hopped in his 410 sprint car, picked up the win there. Kankakee, Illinois, Tuesday night, the UMP Summer Nationals open up their month-long grind, 5,000 win. Ryan Unsicker was your winner there. Night number 2 in Belleville, Kansas. They did not run the half mile. They went to the quarter mile because of the extreme heat. Cars were burning up tires left and right on Monday night, so they ran on the quarter mile there. They gave $40,000 to win in the Super Late Models on a Tuesday night. Shane Clanton beat Jonathan Davenport to get the win there. Wednesday night, Peoria, Illinois, the UMP Summer Nationals. Bobby Pierce picked up the $5,000. Chillicothe, Ohio, for the All-Star Circuit of Champion Sprint Cars. Justin Peck was your winner. Thursday night, up in Francis Creek, Wisconsin, the 141 Speedway. They had the Clash at the Creek 14 for the IMCA Modifieds. $10,500 to win. Johnny Whitman picked up his second consecutive Clash at the Creek victory there. They had $2,700 to win for the IMCA stock cars. Benji Lacrosse, who did not make the modified feature of the 68 cars that were there, did win the consolation prize, winning the IMCA stock car feature. New Richmond, Wisconsin, Cedar Lake Speedway on Thursday night, the 23rd annual Masters kicked off. $3,000 to win for the SMTS modifieds. Dustin Sorensen was your winner. $3,000 to win for the late models. Get this, Nick Panitsky. Nick Panitsky, the asphalt racer, held off Pat Orr, who's probably the most accomplished racer in Cedar Lake history, to pick up the $3,000 win there. Congratulations to him. That had to be a hell of a party after that. In the limited late models, Lance Holper was your winner. Davenport, Iowa, Thursday night, the UMP Summer Nationals. Chris Simpson was your winner. Ohio Speed Week for the All-Star Sprint Cars in Waynesfield, Ohio, Thursday night. That went to Tyler Courtney. Bill Baylog finished 5th. Friday night, Gravity Park Speedway in the Badger Midgets. Dalton, England was your winner. It was Marcus Hopner. Grand Nationals TJ Smith. The stock cars was Mitch Meyer. Unity, Wisconsin. The SK Speedway had their last chance pass. That track is closing down after Friday night unless they get a buyer. And the modified feature winner there was Chris Ortel. Darlington, Wisconsin. The Lafayette County Speedway on Friday night. The modifieds Ched Friedberg. Limited late models was Mike Klein. Night number 2 at New Richmond for the Masters. $5,000 win for the modifieds went to Jake O'Neill. And the late models Chad Mader. And the limited late models Dylan Kromschrader. Lima, Ohio, All-Star Circuit of Champion Sprint Cars. Danny Dietrich was your winner. If you saw the tweets, there's a lot of... it's quite ironic that he won that race, so we'll tell you the story later. Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, Friday night. The World of Outlaw NOS Engineering Sprint Car Series started their 2-day show. Sheldon Hounschild won Friday night's race. Granite City, Illinois, Friday night for the UMP Summer Nationals. $10,000 win. That went to Bobby Pierce. Last night at Plymouth in the late models, Brad Miller picked up his win in the super late models last night. In a 360 sprints, it was Travis Aarons, and the Grand Nationals was TJ Smith. Just a reminder, Plymouth does not race this next coming Saturday. They are off, but they are getting prepared for the big Thursday night show on July 30th. That is sponsored by Road America and a big sprint car race there. Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman going to be there running sprint cars that night. So no racing next week Saturday at Plymouth. In Shawano last night in the late models, Brett Swedberg was your winner. In the IMCA stock cars, it was Mike Mullen. Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, the Hill Raceway in the modifieds, Todd Dart. Stock cars was Kerry Douglas. Rice Lake in the modifieds, Kevin Buzzy Adams was your winner. Ashland, the modifieds went to Brandon Cock. Tomahawk last night had the Badger Midgets. Nick Barron was your winner. Final night at Cedar Lake for the Masters, 10,000 win in the late models. Jimmy Mars was your winner, and the USMTS Modifieds, Derek Ramirez. And the limited late models went to Dylan Kromschrader again. Beaver Dam last night, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, the JB Memorial, $20,000 to win last night. Sheldon Houdenshell made it a complete sweep, winning both nights of that.
Yeah, and so did Jared April won in the Legends both nights on there, too. So that's cool.
Clean sweeps all around. Port Smith, Ohio last night, the final night of the Ohio Speed Week, $20,054 to win for the 410 Sprint. Brent Marks was your winner. Justin Peck is your Speed Week champion. Fairbury, Illinois last night, the UMP Summer Nationals, 10,000 to win. Chris Simpson was your winner. If you get a chance to see video of that, an amazing feature yet again at Fairbury, which happens all the time. And the big money race for the weekend last night, Maryville, Tennessee, the Smoky Mountain Speedway, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Mountain Moonshine Classic, $50,000 to win. Chris Madden beat Jonathan Davenport. Boy, the money between Chris Madden and Jonathan Davenport, boy, I'd like to be their
accountant.
My goodness.
That's
and that was every week.
And the paved results brought to us by our friend Paul Reichert of La Crosse, Wisconsin. We'll start Thursday, State Park Speedway. The super late models ran out there, and Justin Mondyke won in the super lates. And in the Bandoleros, Penn Sauter, the next generation of racing Sauters, won. Dan, was that his first ever win in that Bandolero?
No, you got to win at Slinger last year, a year before, because they had a big crash at the end and kind of a crazy finish. But he had one win at Slinger.
Okay, and this was his first win of the year.
Right, I remember giving Johnny a hard time. He's like, "Hey, Penn won at Slinger before you."
At the Wisconsin International Raceway at Kaukauna, the super late models, it was Bobby Kendall, and in the late models, it was J.J. Vanderloop. Friday night at Golden Sands, Wyatt Brooks won in the super lates. At Madison, in the NASCAR late models, they had twin features. Bobby Wilberg and Zach Riddle won those two. At Norway, they ran the super late models, and Brazen Bennett was your winner. Last night at Dells Raceway Park, Mike Litchfield has been just spectacular and won again out there. At Jefferson, it was Dale Nottestad winning in the late models. At La Crosse, I have two different results on this one. One was that Max Kaler won, and one was that Devin Schmidt won. So I'm not real positive about that.
Max won at Rockford.
Oh, that's what it was. Max won at Rockford, and Devin Schmidt won at La Crosse last night. Last week at the Slinger Super Speedway, Steve Apel won his first event of the year. It was a very emotional win for him. Both of his sons, Cameron and Harrison, joined him up on the stage when after the race was over. A couple of the bravest kids you'll ever meet, and wonderful little guys. And it was emotional for everybody involved there. And congratulations to Steve Apel, a first win of the year and first win for a while at Slinger Speedway. In the late models, I know you were at Slinger last week. I know you saw Braden Berge win the race, but he did not pass post-race inspection, and Ryan Gutknecht won his second feature of the year at Slinger Speedway, who had finished a close second. Tell you what we're going to do. We'll sneak away and do a break and come back and tell you what's going on at Slinger after these messages.
The Milwaukee Mile of Wisconsin State Fair Park roars back to life Father's Day Sunday, June 19th, as Track Enterprises presents the ARCA Midwest Tour. See the nation's top drivers with the best super late model stars in the Father's Day 100, presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Upper Midwest Vintage Cars, Midwest Trucks, and Mid-Am Stock Cars will also be in action. Tickets available online at TrackEnterprises.com or at the gate on race day. For complete details, go to TrackEnterprises.com. Racing returns to Milwaukee Sunday, June 19th.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted Equipped with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Are you ready for an inflation vacation? Win $1,000 9 times a day, weekdays, right here. Just listen for the keywords to enter on our website for your chance to win a grand.
At thebig920.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250, presented by Jockey Made in America, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
This week on NASCAR Live, we caught up with Matt DiBenedetto.
I'm really thankful to be where I'm at, driving for Ackley War and racing in the Truck Series, because it was a blessing in disguise. It really has renewed so much passion and fun for racing that I needed and didn't realize that I needed as much as I did. So I just have a smile on my face every week. I love my team. If they want me back, then I'm back.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Tuesday night at 6 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
And welcome back to LTN. Yeah, tonight at the Slinger Speedway, it's PMF Landscape Supply Night, and Froggy and the gang, they like to give rides before the race and during the intermission in their bus for folks that want to see what it's like on the high banks of Slinger Speedway. It's also Scout Night. All scouts in uniform and their leaders are admitted free of charge. And as Ed mentioned before, it's Tribute Night, where we take our hats off to some of the folks that we lost in the last year, and like Ed mentioned, Dennis Lampman's last ASA car is going to be there. Tim Lampman is going to bring it out and take a couple laps in it, and of course, Dennis was just one of the many folks that passed away in the off season. Ed Kluka's son Michael, who's a friend of this program and friend of all of us, passed away last year, and will be part of this tribute night also, and be a pretty great night. Do you realize that it's round 4 of the Elite 8 series already? Tonight marks halfway through the Elite 8s, so pretty big night. And we know that Ty Majeski is already at Slinger doing hot laps, in case anyone was thinking that he's not taking this seriously tonight. So pretty great stuff. How's things going at the Milwaukee Mile, gents?
Pretty good. Practice is still going on and getting ready to be qualifying pretty soon.
Yep, 11 o'clock qualifying begins. The Midwest trucks will go out there first. They're going to do group qualifying there. 5 trucks for 3 laps. And right after that, the Midwest Tour cars, single car qualifying, 2 laps for all of them. And then they have the Mid-Am qualifying after that also, 5 cars for 2 laps. So racing begins at 1 o'clock with the Midwest truck feature first, 20 laps. Then the Mid-Am stock car feature, 20 laps. And after that will be the Father's Day 100 for the ARCA Midwest Tour. So come on out here. Let's get as many folks as we can out here. Beautiful weather. I mean, you remember 2 years ago it was cold, windy, blustery, and we had a really good crowd. Today we have beautiful weather.
Yeah,
so
last year it rained.
Yep, yeah, last year it rained. So no reason.
Oh, that's right.
It'd be great for Bob Sargent and his group to get the biggest crowd he's had yet for this event here today. So
remember the old days, Todd? We used to run the red, white, and blue races at Kaukauna. We'd all track down the Highway 41 Slinger. With the Madison run during the day, the Wisconsin Short Track Series. We'd all caravan over to Slinger. It's like the old days again. We'd have a big line of cars going. Right.
Yeah, I hope so. That would be a perfect situation. Good car counts for both tracks. Hey, Daniel Suarez, with his win last week at Sonoma, became the 5th driver born outside of the United States. They did mention it this week, which I thought was a pretty interesting list. Mario Andretti was the first back in 1967. Of course, he was born in Italy. Earl Ross. I remember Earl Ross driving the Carling Chevrolet for Junior Johnson. He was born in Canada. Then, of course, it was a few years until Juan Pablo Montoya won. That was he was born in Colombia. Marcos Ambrose, remember him? I thought he was a pretty cool guy. He was born in Australia, and he went back to Australia and is driving for Penske over there. They've got some kind of a stock car series that he races. Supercars. Yeah, pretty cool. And he's had pretty good success back in Australia. And of course, Daniel Suarez, born in Mexico. And what a popular win. Did you catch? I only saw the last lap this morning. I was able to catch it and look at a replay. All the drivers after that race coming by and nudging his car and congratulating the young man on his win. Everybody loves Daniel Suarez. He's not a bad little driver, and he certainly is a popular kid and just genuinely nice guy. My God, he's the antithesis of Denny Hamlin. Go ahead, Dan.
It was cool at the end. You know, Ross, the teammate, smashes the watermelons. Well, they had a taco piñata for him to smash. Yeah. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, numero uno. That was pretty great. Who carries that around with him? Who's got the job, you know? That's pretty hilarious. They started talking about it since Dover when he had a shot to win that race. They've been doing it for a while, and they finally got to smash it on the start-finish line. But, yeah, he has had it. I mean, look at his career. When he was over at Gibbs for a while, kind of got forced out of there a little bit, and then went over to Stewart Haas and kind of didn't have the greatest thing there. So he's kind of getting kicked around a little bit, and he found a home with Trackhouse. And same with Ross Chastain. I guess it really shows you believe in your driver, you get a team, and everybody's on the same page. Look what you can accomplish. Yeah, no kidding. Pretty great stuff. Hey, for those of you who are so inclined today, and this is for many of our folks that are listening on the internet away from Milwaukee. I'm sure if you're in Milwaukee, you want to head over to the track today, but you can catch today's race on MidwestTour.tv, and the Trucks and Mid-Am Series can be caught on RacingAmerica.com. That's the same as Slinger Speedway tonight. Well, you can catch Slinger on RacingAmerica.com or at SlingerSpeedway.tv. So, guys, out here, go to the Facebook page on the Midwest Tour. They're going to do a little bit of live for the qualifying.
Yep.
So you get to see some of that.
So you get a taste of it.
Pretty cool. Cool stuff. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful day, and to all of our faithful listeners, thanks for tuning in. Do yourselves a favor. Go out to Milwaukee this afternoon and come up to Slinger Speedway for PMF Landscape Supply Night and Tribute Night tonight at the track. For all of us, we want you to remember that real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our in-house engineer, website coordinator, and king of the knobs is Matt Hangover Losi Sr. See you next week.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of the station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.